Hello and welcome back. Today we are continuing with Fanhome's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Megazord build. We are now on to part 12, which as you can see will be the start of our Mastodon head. So it appears that we are building the heads first before we move on to other parts of the Zord assemblies. Obviously, as you would have, or as I've mentioned in the previous videos, I've done this as a one-off purchase with all the parts delivered at once. So, you know, I could choose to build this in whatever order I wanted. I am following the instructions. However, what does annoy me with this is the jumping around from Zord to Zord. I understand it from the perspective of you don't want subscribers jumping ship as soon as they get the Zord they want. But equally, having parts, you know, here and there which don't really connect to anything for, you know, potentially a couple of years is definitely frustrating. And would be a major annoyance when doing this as a monthly build, which originally I was. But nonetheless, without further ado, let's get this opened and get our first assembly of the Mastodon started. So, it's building time. Here we have our parts. We've not got screws this week. There should be some screws in here somewhere. Screws are under here. There we go. We just get one pack of screws, which are just PB screws. So there's no way we can get these mixed up or confused with half a dozen different screws, which some of the builds have had. And here we have part one, which will be connecting the head of the Mastodon to the face. This is made of just a solid ABS plastic. There isn't any die cast in these bits, which is a bit of a shame, but or at least my logic on this is, given this ends up forming the shield, I imagine metal would have resulted in the figure being too heavy to hold. Where's my screwdriver? There. So we just need two screws which go either side. Line up and just screw it in without issue. Go. Then we want to move on to the head crest. So you need this piece, which is a nice gloss plastic with a painted M on it, and the gloss white frame. So this will just clip onto this like so. Well, there we go. It just pushes in and clips in. Then with the M facing downwards, this should just line up and clip into place. And there is a another screw port just here. Oh, excuse me. Just want to keep a firm press on the outer frame because with the screw pushing against it, it wants to push away. So you need a force pushing back so that the screw will go in and hold everything in place. Then we move on to our LED cover and our circuit board. So you can see we've got the LED light here and the circuit board there. So this will just rest out. The picture isn't quite clear which way this is going to go, so okay. So the red strip goes at the bottom, and then this should just slide over the two pegs there. Just about trying to get it lined up and on. One of them goes over, the other one doesn't. Oh, right. There we go. There. Need some force to line it up straight, and once it's in, it will line up nice enough, like so. Then we take our LED board, and with the connector facing up, we then just line it up and screw it into place. This is just a tricky part because the trying to line it up's a little awkward because this is literally just resting on top of the no. No. Okay, I'm going to pause this while I get this screwed in, so this is going to take a while. Right, there we go. That was a little tough because it's all black on black, and it's very hard to see where the screw ports are, and if this doesn't clip anywhere, it literally just sits on top of this, so it's free to slide around as you're trying to screw it in. So trying to get the screw lined up with a screw hole that you can't see does make it all awkward. But we got there in the end. We then move on to our eye assemblies, and we will be starting with the left eye. So you just get these these silver parts. This is the right one, but we get our silver parts here, and we also get our eye lenses, which are these green translucent plastics, which are really quite nice. That is right. So this one should be left. So the idea should be that with this part facing into the head, the lens sort of goes in and just rests in there, as you can see, and then the cover will come in and clip on. So this is in there and there. There you go. So this one's a little easier. 2 ports line up there, and there's a ridge there which helps slide it and keep it in place. And we just get 2 screws. And then the right will be the same as the left. Line up and slide in our eyepiece, which just slides and rests in place. Then the cover. Then the cover, and finally 2 screws to hold it in place, and this will end up being the top 12. Sorry, as I was saying, this once screwed in will be part 12 complete. It's nice to see there's no leftover parts this week to lie around until we continue. It's nice, simple build. Well, I say simple, it's, you know, the whole thing's simple and easy enough to follow. It's just some of the positions of the screws are a little bit awkward, but that's reasonable and expected enough when you're assembling this model kit yourself. So there we have the start of our Mastodon head. It's starting to come along nicely. There we go. You get a nice clear shot. You can see that when the light hits the eyes, you get a real nice reflection on those. It's going to be interesting to see how well these light up once the batteries and things are connected. But there we have the Mastodon head for now. That can go aside until our next build. And then, as always, to finish out the episode, we will take a look at this week in Power Rangers. So the next episode was our Power Rangers Punks episode 12. This is the Terratoad episode, and where Kimberly and Billy are turned into punks, which is probably the most 90s expression one can think of for explaining delinquents. So we get our episode summary, our profile on our monster of the week, And we get some nice shots here. Pterotoad eating Billy, for example. Billy and Kimberly as they appeared when they were in their punk phase. And the interesting fact for this week is through the globe visualizer we discover a flesh and blood version of Zordon facing a group of putty patrolmen on a strange planet. It is a memory from long ago when he fought for a singing pumpkin. Actually, these images show the mysterious wizard Barza, mentor of the Rangers in the original Japanese series. Curio Sentai Zyuranger. So there we have it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I will be back soon, and as always, may the power protect you.